Your alarm goes off, and before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already running through everyone's needs but your own. You think this video is going to tell you to wake up at 5 a.m. with a green smoothie and a color coded planner. It's not. It's going to show you 6 small, sincere habits from the Sunnah that can quietly transform your mornings without adding a single thing to your to do list. Stay with me for the next few minutes, my dear sister, because your mornings were never meant to feel this heavy. Assalamu alaikum, my dear sister. If your mornings feel like survival instead of peace, you are not alone. So many of us picture the productive Muslim mother as someone who wakes before dawn in perfect stillness, prays with total focus, and glides into her day with a made bed and a made heart. And then reality hits. A crying baby, a missed alarm, a rushed prayer, a cup of tea that goes cold on the counter untouched. You open your phone for 1 minute and see a mother somewhere online, already dressed, already fed, already at peace by 6 a.m., and something in your chest tightens. Not because you don't love your children, not because you don't love your dean, but because you're tired. And tired mothers don't need another standard to fall short of. They need someone to say, what you're already doing counts. Here is the truth no one tells you. The Sunnah was never designed for a woman with silence and space. It was lived by women who nursed babies, ran households, and carried the weight of a whole family before the sun was even fully up. These women existed. They rocked crying children while whispering zikr under their breath. They prayed Fajr exhausted, standing, sometimes barely able to keep their eyes open, and it was still accepted, still counted, still loved by Allah. If that was enough for them, it is enough for you. Maybe you've tried the routines before, the 5 step morning checklist, the productivity app, the perfectly timed schedule that fell apart by the second day because a child woke up sick or the milk spilled, or you simply didn't sleep enough the night before to function like a machine. If that's you, please hear this. The problem was never your discipline. The problem was that you were handed a version of morning productivity that had nothing to do with your actual life. This is the shift, not adding more to your morning, not becoming a different, more disciplined version of yourself by next week, just filling the moments that already exist, the ones you're already living through, with a little more meaning, a little more remembrance of the one who gave you this day in the first place. 6 small habits, nothing that requires a quiet house or an empty schedule. Let's walk through them together. Point 1. Begin with the words before your feet touch the floor. There's a simple dua the Prophet, peace be upon him, would say the moment he opened his eyes. A few words thanking Allah for the gift of another day, for being brought back to life after the small death of sleep. You don't need silence. You don't need to be fully awake. You can whisper it while your child is already calling your name, while the day is already asking things of you. It takes 4 seconds, and in those 4 seconds, your first thought of the day becomes gratitude instead of dread. Try it tomorrow. Before your feet touch the floor, before your mind starts its list, just those few words. Let your day begin with thankfulness, not with panic. Notice what this does over time. A week of mornings that begin with gratitude instead of a mental sprint starts to change the tone of everything that follows. You're not calmer because your circumstances changed. You're calmer because the very first thing your heart touched that day was remembrance, not worry. Point 2. Let Fajr be your anchor, even when it's messy. We've been taught to picture Fajr as this serene, candlelit moment. For a mother, it often looks nothing like that. It looks like praying with a baby on your hip. It looks like a 2 minute prayer squeezed between feedings. It looks like catching it just before sunrise instead of at the first light. Here is what matters more than how it looks, that you showed up. Allah is not measuring the stillness of your prayer space. He is seeing the mother who, exhausted as she is, still turned towards him before anyone else in the house was awake. That is not a small thing. That is the anchor your whole day is built on. Let Fajr be imperfect. Let it be interrupted. Just don't let it be missed. There will be seasons, a newborn, a sick toddler, a night with no sleep at all, where even reaching Fajr late feels like a victory. It is. Don't let comparison steal that from you. The mother scrolling past a video of someone else's serene candlelit prayer corner has no idea what your night looked like. Allah does, and He is not comparing you to her. Point 3. Ask for barakah, not more hours. You'll never get more than 24 hours in a day. No mother does, but some mornings feel like they stretch, and others feel like they collapse before 9 a.m. The difference isn't time, it's barakah, blessing woven into the time you already have. The early hours were described as a time of blessing for a reason, not because mothers are meant to wake at an impossible hour, but because there is something in beginning your day with intention, even 10 minutes earlier than you have to, that softens everything that follows. So tonight, ask Allah for barakah in your morning, not for more time, for more ease inside the time you already have. You've probably had those rare mornings where everything somehow fits: the school run, the prayer, the breakfast, even a few quiet minutes with your tea. Nothing about the clock was different on those days. What was different was the barakah Allah placed inside them. That's not luck, that's something you can genuinely ask for every single night before you sleep. Point 4. Let remembrance happen in fragments. Morning Azkar can feel like one more thing on a list that's already too long, but it was never meant to be recited in stillness on a prayer mat with candles lit. It can happen while the kettle boils, while you're nursing in the dark, while you're folding tiny socks that somehow never match. A few words of gratitude, a few words asking for protection over your day. They don't need your full attention to still reach Allah. They just need your sincerity. Let your remembrance live in the cracks of your morning, not in a version of stillness you may never have again while your children are small. One day, years from now, you might have that stillness back. The house will be quiet in a way you don't recognize anymore, and you might even miss this chapter: the socks, the kettle, the noise. Until then, let your dhikr grow in the noise with you. Allah hears you just as clearly over a crying baby as He would in perfect silence. Point 5. Release the pressure of a flawless morning. There is a promise woven through the Quran that with every hardship comes ease, not after it, not far from it, but alongside it. Your mornings do not need to look calm to be blessed. The spilled cereal, the mismatched socks, the prayer said standing while you rock a fussy baby, that is not you failing at your deen. That is your deen, lived exactly where Allah placed you. Let go of the version of productive Muslim mother that exists only in edited videos. Your real, imperfect morning is enough when your heart is sincere in it. If you take nothing else from this video, take this: the ease promised to you isn't a reward waiting at the end of a hard season. It's already sitting inside it, right now, in the very mess you're standing in. You don't have to fix your mornings to deserve it. You just have to notice it's already there. Point 6. Let your first dua of the day be for them. Before the noise of the day fully begins, say a quiet dua for your children, for their hearts, their safety, their guidance. A mother's dua for her child carries a weight most of us don't fully understand. You may not remember to check on your own heart every morning, but make space to ask Allah to watch over theirs. In that one small habit, your morning stops being only about surviving the day. It becomes protection you're placing over your entire household before it even begins. Think of it as an invisible thread you send out before the day starts pulling you in 6 directions. You may forget it by 9 a.m. You may not think about it again until you're lying down tonight. But it was said, it was sent, and it was heard. My dear sister, none of these habits ask you to become someone else. They only ask you to notice the moments you already have: the 4 seconds before your feet touch the floor, the imperfect fajr, the dua whispered over a boiling kettle, and fill them with a little more intention. Allah is not asking for your perfect morning. He's asking for your sincere one. Start with just one of these tomorrow, not all six, just one, and let it be small and let it be enough. Maybe it's the 4 words before your feet touch the floor. Maybe it's simply not letting Fajr slip away, even messily. Whichever one you choose it gently. You are not behind. You are not failing your deen because your mornings look nothing like the ones you scroll past. You are a mother in the middle of one of the most demanding seasons of her life, still choosing to reach for Allah in whatever way she can. That reaching is the whole point. If this reached something in you tonight, tell me in the comments which habit you're going to start with. I read every single one. And if you'd like more reminders like this to sit with, gentle ones, made for mothers exactly where you are, stay close, subscribe, and let's walk through these mornings together, one small, sincere habit at a time. Until next time, my dear sister, go gently with yourself tomorrow morning. Allah already sees the effort you're making, long before the day even proves it to you.